Alright, so let's look at question 3. Which of the following is an example of a chemical change? So here, certain things that you should want to highlight or underline for important, because it's important, is example and chemical change. So, when we're talking about chemical changes, there are two things you should always write down. The first thing that you should write down immediately is new substance. So we need to remember that whenever a chemical change occurs, a new substance is formed. That is the most important clue that tells you that a chemical change reaction has occurred. The next thing you should write down is cold pig. That's a mnemonic device that we use to help us remember the different types of evidence of a chemical change. Starting with C, a change in color, O, production of odor, L, a production of light, T, a change in temperature, whether it increases or decreases, P, the formation of a precipitate, I, irreversible, meaning that it cannot go back, the new substance cannot change back to what it was before, and finally G, gas, the production of gas, which should be seen as either bubbles, fizzing, or foaming. So before we actually start looking at the answer choices here, I want to review something with you. Whenever we have a change in the state of matter, meaning objects melt, objects freeze, or liquids begin to evaporate here, those are considered changes in the state of matter. Whenever we have a change in the state of matter, that is always considered a physical change. It is not considered a chemical change. Alright, so please be careful when seeing answer choices that deal with changes in your state of matter. Alright, so now we can begin by looking at each individual answer choice to see what we find out. Letter A says, heating sand to high temperatures to form molten glass. So if we're heating sand, what we're actually doing to it is we are melting it. So if we melt sand, are we changing what it's made of, or is that just a change in the state of matter? Great job. That's a change in the state of matter. Now, I know what you were probably thinking at first. You saw high temperatures in there, and immediately you thought to yourself, oh, perfect, temperature, that's in cold pig, that's my answer. But remember, according to the notes we took in class and according to what we discussed and saw in our experiments 2 days ago, the temperature of the reaction has to change completely on its own. If you're the one that's causing the temperature to change somehow because you do something to it, then that is not considered a chemical change. So here, you're the one that actually adds heat to the sand to melt it. So if you're adding heat, is it happening on its own? Great job. It's not happening on its own, so that's why high temperatures here would not be considered temperature from cold pig. Alright, so now let's go ahead and eliminate this answer. Let's look at the next one. Freezing water. Alright, so our key here is freezing. So if we freeze water, we make an ice cube. Is ice the same thing as water? Yeah, it is. So in this case, since it's a change in the state of what? Great job, a change in the state of matter, we know that this one is not our answer. Letter C, burning wood. Alright, so if we burn wood, what does the wood turn into? Great, it turns into ash. Good job. So burning, the ability for wood to burn is considered a chemical property, which we already talked about that. Remember, our physical properties would be things such as it breaks easily, it's dark in color, it's dull, which means it's not shiny at all. Those are physical properties, but burning is a chemical property. So is ash the same as wood? Great job, it's not. It's a completely different substance. It's a new substance from wood. So in this case, C might be our answer, but let's look at D just to make sure. Letter D, making table sugar from sugarcane. Alright, so in this case, all you're doing is you're getting the sugarcane and you're turning it into sugar. But are they both made of the same thing? Yeah, they are. So in that case, is it a new substance? Nope. Alright, good job. So you were right. Correct answer here is letter C, burning wood. Alright, let's look at number 4. So in this one, we have which of the following is not a clue that a chemical reaction is occurring. So again, what did I tell you to write down immediately every single time that you see something about chemical changes or chemical reactions? There's two things. Great job. We write down new substance. And what's the other thing we write down? Great job. We write down cold pig. Alright, so let's look at them. Letter A says gas formation. Is that found somewhere in cold pig? Great job. It's right there in the G. So is that a clue or not a clue? Great, that is a clue that a chemical reaction is occurring. So since our question's asking for not a clue, that's not our answer. We're looking for something that is not a new substance, something that is not found in cold pig. So let's look at letter B. Precipitation of a solid. So, when we have a precipitation of a solid, we're just saying that a solid is being formed here. Do we find that somewhere in cold pig? Great job. Our P for precipitate. So, in that case, since it's found in cold pig, that's not our answer, because again, we're looking for not a clue, something that is not a chemical reaction. Letter C. Change in the size and shape of a solid. Alright, so let's picture this. If I have a 3-foot long stick, and all of a sudden I break it in half, are they the same size? Great, the new pieces are not the same size as before, but think of it. Is it still made of the same thing though? Great job, it is. Okay, it's just the same stick, just broken in 2 pieces. So, whenever you have the change in size and shape of a solid, or the change in the size and shape of anything really, that is not considered a chemical change. Do we have anything of that in cold pig? No, we don't have size in cold pig. We don't have shape in cold pig. So that could possibly be our answer. And let's look at the last one, letter D. Color change. Is color change found in cold pig? Where? Great job, right there. So because of that, that cannot be our answer. Again, we're looking for not a clue that a chemical reaction is occurring. So which is the only one that has an answer that is not found in cold pig and does not talk about a new substance forming? Great job. Letter C.